Here is an easy CT side double-AWP setup performed by Flipside vs Godsend in the Uprise Champions Season 4 Cup. A double-AWP setup is a very powerful tool to have when playing the map Train, with long lines of sight in both bomb sites. This default involves 3 players at A, 1 with an AWP and 2 rifles. The other 2 players go B, 1 also with an AWP. The AWPer will be holding stairs, while the rifle can push up hallway. Our first player is the A site AWPer, playing Ivy. This player must first focus their attention on A main, while the rifler gets in position. If you look at these timings, you can see that the terrorists get to main first, then the AWPer second. A few seconds later, the terrorists arrive at Ivy. You can use this time to watch main without worrying about Ivy, while your rifler gets in position. As soon as your teammate is set, direct your attention towards Ivy. Make sure that you have your crosshair in a position where you can shoot someone who's standing on the dumpster or someone peeking in front of the dumpster. If the terrorists cross over Ivy, smoke it off and fall back here. The terrorists can sneak up Ivy if they are on the wall close to you, so play it safe and move back. If you have to fall back further, make sure your teammates are aware that they aren't safe from Ivy. Our second player is the B AWPer. He should first hold short on B, in case of an aggressive play by the terrorists to take B. You can play this close or from farther back. There are downsides to each though. Playing close doesn't leave you much room to fall back, so it's very risky. Playing back is safer, however you won't be able to hear footsteps to gather info for your team. If the B rifler is playing aggressive and pushing halls, and he doesn't see anyone, feel free to move through Z to A, especially if the terrorists are putting pressure on the site from one of the 3 entrances. The third player is the A main rifler. Since this player has to run all the way across the yard, make sure that the Ivy player is watching main until you find your position. There are many possible spots to play from, and they all have their own drawbacks. It's often best to learn firsthand how to play here, and mold it to your own play style through trial and error. If you are trying to find a spot to play on your own, just make sure that you can still see A main without being visible from Pop Dog. Oftentimes, the terrorist can get a free pick on you from there. Our fourth player's job is to watch Pop Dog itself. Playing the bomb train is smart, as you can fall back to many places. If the player watching main calls out that someone is at E-box, you likely have the best line of sight, so they are your responsibility now. And our final player is the B rifler. A good spot to play this from is up close. Train B is often held solo, simply because A is so much more difficult to hold. Pushing halls is smart, as you can alert your team of a presence at B, and still have enough time to fall back if necessary. This role is fairly simple, and if any player is underperforming, perhaps give them this spot, because they will still likely play it well enough to win rounds. In the end, this is a fairly simple default that works well against any type of play from the terrorists. This strategy is very simple, and every player fulfills their fair share of the burden. It's a very flexible setup, and is my go-to when playing Train. It's a simple, but effective Train default, so I give it a 9 out of 10. If you have any ideas on how to make this strat work better, I'd love to hear how. If not, tell me about your favorite strategy in the comments.